just a lot of give and take. Some guys up front did a nice job getting in the backfield at times. I thought we were consistent in the run game offensively. Held out a few guys beyond the injuries that have been from the beginning. A couple of guys that got a few nicks, just giving more opportunity for some young guys to go out there and show us what they got. So we'll have a scrimmage next Friday again, and then we'll scrimmage. We scrimmage multiple times whenever we put full pads on, so it's controlled. And we'll do that a couple times next week with the big one on Friday. And then we get into the final week leading up to A-Day. We'll have a scrimmage there on Thursday, actually before the Saturday A-Day. And just like to be controlled. Again, we've got some number issues at a couple positions, and so want to make sure we get the right guys reps to where the whole team can get value, and also not put a guy in a spot where he doesn't know what he's doing or can't execute at the level that we need to challenge maybe someone across from him and get a quality rep from even the other side of the ball. So liked what I saw. Thought there was a lot of improvement through this week, and that's what you got to have. It was only 2 practices, but I thought it was 2 good ones. Beautiful day out there. How can you not enjoy it?
Yeah, start off, you guys were speaking about the 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I thought today, as far as just accuracy, there was maybe 2 balls. One was really short pass that you really want to see completed, and then one that was an opportunity for an explosive play that we missed. Otherwise, thought I just probably guessed that we were somewhere in the where you want to be percentage-wise. I don't know, 60, 65%, between the 3 of them. And so all of them getting their opportunities to lead with with the different groups, 1s, 2s in particular. So I thought they handled the checks and the things as far as managing the game. That's a lot of it. And then, going out there and making plays. So I feel like they were more comfortable today. And I think a lot of it is you put in a specific set of calls that they feel good with, so you can have a successful scrimmage. And I think the offensive staff did that for them.
Are you all starting to see separation at that position?
I think it's pretty consistent from where it was from the beginning. So, they all bring something a little bit different to the table, even though it's not like maybe, a runner, and then a passer. It's guys doing their thing and what their strengths are. Catchable balls and things like that they do really well. Making maybe field throws. One guy does that a little bit more. One does a little better job of scrambling. So I think they're all learning from each other, though, and taking something from each other's game and applying it to theirs and seeing that, there's always a way to make this play happen or that play happen. I thought they did a good job keeping their eyes downfield and hit some explosives. And kept the chains moving on some 3rd and 4th downs that were critical. And that shows, good composure. So, we threw a lot at them the first couple practices, and now I think they're getting into a groove. And again, we dialed back a little bit for the scrimmage, and we'll keep throwing stuff back on them. The installs were heavy from both sides, and so, offense is installing, defense is installing, and then you're facing what you're seeing, not just what you're supposed to execute on your side. So today was good. Kept it not at a elementary level, but not at the expert level, either, as far as what we were putting on their plate.
Is there a position group you feel like has made the biggest strides so far through spring?
I think the group that is coming along and different than what we had last year was the receiving corps. And I know some of those guys are the same guys, but I think the depth of them, of that group, is certainly evident. They're all today. They made more of those plays and they were very consistent. I thought so. I think the defensive backfield is something that is just completely different than what it was a year ago at this time. I know they got better throughout the season, so I don't want to say that they're drastically improving right now, but they're definitely playing with a lot of confidence. And so that matchup, whether it's 1-on-1s or 7-on-7 that we do throughout the practices, and then, today in the scrimmage, that matchup is really great to see. You see big plays being made on both sides. You see the competitiveness, and that iron sharpens iron pieces, making both sides of the ball better. So those skill areas, I think, are improving a lot from where we were at a year ago.
Sure. You mentioned the wide receiver, wondering a lot of people are wondering about you operating and what the communication is.
Mm-hmm.
How is he kind of, ingratiating himself?
Yeah, I think the thing I like about where he's at right now and his head is in a good place. He's just working, and getting better. And that whole room has improved, right? I mean, from top to bottom, and so it's competitive. But he's getting in there and taking advantage of the reps he has, and that's what you want to do right now at this time. And so he got some good reps out there again today.
About the defensive backs being improved, what can you say about the job Mo did with that group last year to this year, but also without getting into details, the recruiting side of things, what he brings to the table?
Yeah, without a doubt. He's, we really had only one, if I remember right, one scholarship corner a year ago returning from the season before, and played a lot of young guys, new guys. Damani wasn't necessarily a freshman, but new guys to the program, and so developed confidence. Now that room all of a sudden has got a high ceiling, but it's also we've created a lot of depth there. And the thing I also like is between this corner and safety room, there's interchangeable pieces. And so there's kind of a dual training that exists. And, you see Red Morgan can play multiple spots. And I'm just thinking about what the fan base would have seen a year ago. And, he was in different spots, safety, corner. Zay Mincy, moved right at the end of the season from corner to safety. And so we have multiple guys that can do a lot of those things. We probably still don't have the numbers you'd like in that room, just because it is so competitive. The right guys coming in is important for us, but because they're all really good football players, the quality of that room and us feeling comfortable with them certainly is in a good spot.
And the job Mo does in terms of recruiting. Yeah,
he's phenomenal. He's just a guy in the building, first of all, that brings just good juice and energy, and he's a pleasure to be around if you're the head coach, a staff member, and then that is certainly seen by our players and felt by our players. And then in the recruiting process, I just think he's attractive, for a parent, for their son to want to come here and be coached, because they're cared for, they're loved, they're taught at an extremely high level. He does just such a great job in all those ways. So it's personality mixed with ability and the want to. He's a guy with a lot of drive, and he's got a high expectation. So he gets after them, but it's some tough love that he brings, and they appreciate that because they want the same thing as he does, it's to be their best.
There's a lot of questions about how players are coming along and what they're doing, but I want to ask, how do you want to grow going into this second season at Alabama?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think a lot of it is just been at a lot of times right over your career, whether it's head coach or an assistant coach, year two always just feels different, right? The guys, you understand now and have gone through experiences together, and they know where you're coming from when you come to them, good or bad. And what they've been through and what they're experiencing. So I think a lot of it is just the next step of the relationships leading to just the passion coming out and myself, our staff, through and the expectations aren't changing. It's just that everyone's and especially after a season like last year, got another level of hunger to make sure we get back to where we expect to be. And it's been a joy out there because the guys know where I come from and I can coach them up. I know where they got to get better. I've been articulated that, our staff articulates that to them, and we hold them to that expectation. Yeah, he's going to come in and fit right in with the group, because he brings length. And, that's the thing that just jumps out at you right now is across the board. And, we got some guys that maybe don't have the extreme height, but our length in the secondary and is changed a lot. And, Chuck will come add to that. And he comes from a great program, a lot of experience playing at a high level. I think that transition for a guy like Chuck, it's shown, through the guys that have come out of, great programs in the past, Modern Day in particular, he's going to come in and do his thing, and he's got some guys that I know he knows them well. And so I'm extremely confident they will push him along, bring him along, and he'll fit right in pretty quickly.
Is there anything specifically you want to, you're encouraging him to, work through, as he goes through his, final semester?
Yeah, I just focus on him and take care of his business with the things he's got to take care of on that end, and he's into it. He's a guy that loves ball, and so I know he's, refining physically and mentally, and trying to stay up to speed with what we're doing right now, and talking to his teammates, and going to be ready when the summer hits.
Can you elaborate on the 8A announcement from yesterday's scrimmage at Deboer, and then what people might expect to see on that Saturday?
Yeah, we'll have just more of a practice, full practice like we would have any day, and just again allows us, kind of what I referred to earlier, be able to have a controlled setting, just the reps that certain guys get. So we'll we understand the significance, and we love, everyone loves football here, and so we want to give that day and make it available, and show off our guys, and our guys go do their thing. I can't even say it's really, to me, not about the portal concern that I know everyone makes it out to be. It's just that, we're really careful out there. We ran a lot of reps, but we were very specific, and sometimes, you almost had to stop things to get the right groups of people, matchups and things like that, to have a quality rep for all 22 guys that are on the football field. And, that practice type environment is something that I think best accomplishes both the things for the fans that we want to do with the A-Day, and also, for our football team to utilize a practice 15 and continue to get better. I think it's really important for our guys to get in front of fans. I remember a year ago when we came out, some of these, this year we got 18 new freshmen, and then we also have some transfers that are here, and this is their first time in Bryant-Denny with people. So I think that's a huge benefit for us. I remember seeing some guys a little bit like, wow, eyes wide open, and so that's a huge benefit for us, because really throughout the fall camp, we won't experience that to the extent like we will here in a couple weeks. So and then also just some time from a fan appreciation standpoint, where the people can get up close to our guys, see hopefully their role models up close, get a signature or picture and things like that.
So do you expect the practice 8A format to continue into the future? And
yeah.
Are you at all interested in the idea of Colorado's pursuing practicing and playing a spring game against Syracuse, I believe? Is that at all interesting to you if the NCAA approves?
Well, if we couldn't do a scrimmage, and I guess it might be a little easier when you just worry about one side of the ball at that time. But to me, if we're concerned about the reps amongst ourselves at this point, like this year, I definitely wouldn't be, wanting to have that type of scrimmage. I think every program can do what they want to do, and to me, it's about us making ourselves better. I think there are some things, like when the NFL has their times during fall camp, they might go specifically to a team that gives them certain fronts and coverages, or a certain style of offense that they maybe won't see much from their own team during their preparation at fall camp or OTAs or whatever it might be. So there's benefits to that. I've thought about that. When you would do that is a little bit up in the air, and just we'll continue to evolve. We'll continue to adjust. So the answer I give you right now might not be the same answer I give you down the road as we develop. But I think we're still recovering from a little bit. I mean, all these injuries that have happened, a lot of was from last season, for the most part. And so it's just where we're at right now. But it's also the positive, and that's the way we're always going to look at it, is there's a lot of young guys that are getting a ton of reps, being put in uncomfortable positions. And, that's good. That's how the growth happens. So
After the first scrimmage, evaluate your offensive line.
the offensive line. I thought today was actually probably one of their better days. I don't know if it was the best day. The film will show that when I look at it more closely, but they were more consistent. Just run game, pass game. We created some seams at times. I think that they were the most consistent. They were solid in protection, gave the quarterback some time. I think the quarterbacks got a little more comfortable back there. And then the run game, I thought we were more physical than we've been. So it shows up a little bit more because, we were live and taken to the ground. And so the running backs, find those seams. And when you're thud and just maybe in shells and staying up, it's a little harder to get a gauge. But it showed up in a good way. And again, maybe the film will show a little bit something different. But the vibe right now that I have was that it was a positive day for them. You bet. Thank you. Roll Tide.